of them that they can go to if there is one. And I'll tell you how many times I've told people, go to a good, Bible-believing church, King James only, an independent Baptist if you can find it, or, if not, they have what they call Bible church, and there's these other different kind of churches that are King James, Bible-believing churches that do preach the truth. Well, a lot of times people go to one, they come back and say, well, they don't preach the gospel. They don't have a King James only. I said, well, all right, let's try to find another. I want to help people. But there's a lot of churches today that preach what I like to call a bloodless gospel. What is the bloodless gospel that they preach? The bloodless gospel is any gospel that someone tells you that leaves out the blood of Jesus Christ and makes you do something other than trusting in what Jesus did for you. One of them is, ask Jesus into your heart. Where in the Bible do you find one verse that tells you to ask Jesus into your heart? It's not there. Oh, people will say, yeah, but what about Revelation chapter 3 and verse 20? God says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Yeah, would you read the whole context, please? Nowhere does it say that's the door of your heart. There's no heart door in the Bible. That's a made-up, just horrible teaching that man made up. It's talking about a church. And God's knocking on the door of a church saying, hey, the whole church left me out, and I'd like to get in there and fellowship with them. But yet the whole church locked God out. That's what the context of Revelation 3:20 is, a church, not your heart store. So telling people ask Jesus in your heart, that's a bloodless gospel. That's not the gospel of Paul. You can ask Jesus to come into your heart every single day, and he will never come into your heart until you trust the gospel, because that's how you get saved. There's another one, ask Jesus to save you. Oh, there's been people I've seen on YouTube that attack anyone that says that that's a bloodless gospel. But where is the blood? There are people today that go around and tell people, if you want to get saved, just say, oh God, please save me. Just ask God to save you. And then they'll run to these verses, and one of the verses they run to says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. And that's Jesus in his earthly ministry speaking to Jews. And you look at the context, and Jesus says, and what father won't give to his son that asks? The context is a father and a son. It's not a lost person coming to God for salvation. It's not. So they twist scriptures and they preach what I like to call bloodless gospels. Any gospel that leaves out the blood atonement of Jesus Christ will put you in hell.